My countrymen, once again, this is Eli Velez Lao Pamatong, President of the Republic of the Philippines. And today I would like to discuss about martial law. For the last 4 years, Mayor Rodrigo Duterte has been talking about declaring martial law. And nobody has been questioning it. Nobody questioned that martial law. Every time he runs out of idea, he talks about martial law. He scares the people using the word martial. But what is martial law? Duterte, as a lawyer himself, knows what martial law is. Martial law is a constitutional remedy, a constitutional option to protect the republic, to protect the constitution, and the republic for which it stands. That is martial law, to protect the republic and the constitution, which is the basis of that republic. And so we have to ask, what is the authority of Duterte to declare martial law? He cannot declare martial law because he was not elected constitutionally. He never was elected legally. He was not elected within the parameters of the Constitution. That's why he said repeatedly, again and again, he said, arrogantly, proudly, he said, the Constitution is a piece of shit to me. I don't believe in the Constitution. The Constitution is a piece of shit. So if the Constitution is a piece of shit, what's the point of declaring martial law, which is based on the Constitution? You can only declare martial law if you have been constitutionally elected, because martial law is a constitutional remedy. It's a constitutional option. So what is going on is that Duterte is a dictator, is a usurper, is an impostor. He himself admitted that he was not elected legally. He said before our people, 108 million people in the world, my legal team blundered. I repeat, Rodrigo said, my legal team blundered. My legal team blundered. How did it blunder? By not obtaining COC before Duterte runs or run for the presidency. No COC, no permit, no approval by the government to run. So he ran without a COC, and therefore his election was null and void. The entire presidential election, including the election of Leni Robredo, was null and void. They are all de facto leaders, de facto president and de facto vice president. They have no legal standing, except that the people are following them by force of law. The people are following Duterte because the army is supporting Duterte, the police is supporting Duterte. And so he's being followed, not because of legality, not because of the law, but because the army is following Duterte, because the police is supporting Duterte. That's why he is considered the president. And the worst part of this is that our people keep on calling him Mr. President. He's not president. He's just a mayor. Every time somebody calls him Mr. President, well, he gets orgasm. He is so happy that somebody is calling him president, and in fact, he's not. That's why very often he says, I am only a mayor, because he is telling the truth. He is just a mayor. He cannot be president. And we have been run by an incompetent mayor for the last 4 years. Mayor. He has not been a good mayor in Davao. Instead of governing the people, he killed people, maybe 1,700 personally. He killed them. That's the way how he governed Davao City. And when he became president, he proudly confessed, my only crime is AJK. I mean, killing 30,000 people without due process of law. His procedure is just killing left and right. Just like a lunatic, I mean, a child who has lost his mind. Just kill and kill and kill, and nobody, he has no other solution except killing. And for the last 4 years, he has done nothing but killing people. What project did he succeed anyway? You tell me. What project? He failed to control traffic. He failed to stop drug trafficking in the Philippines. He practically failed in every aspect, in almost every turn he failed. He's a complete failure. But because he was able to bribe the army, sabi niya, I fed the army with money, pinakain ko ng pera ang mga generals na yan, walang utang na loob na yan. I mean, he said that. He insulted them. But, you know, when you have too much money in the pocket, you don't mind the insult. The money is more important than insults or your honor. And so these generals, mostly from the Philippine Military Academy, just took the insults, swallowed the insult together with the money. That's the way he is still there, governing the Philippines. Plus, he was backed up by Jinping. The Jinping promised him that the Chinese army will be around to support him should there be any attempt to oust him. And they are around, about, according to the CIA, 45,000 fully armed Chinese army. I think they are more than that, maybe about 3 million, including their workers. They are already here in the Philippines. They are occupying several islands, especially Pogo Islands, and they are in control. So aside from the armed forces, which have been bribed by Duterte to the fullest, they have also the Chinese army to back them up. I mean, Jinping and Duterte. So Duterte is there by force, not by rule of law, not according to the rule of law. I am the president according to the rule of law because I took over the presidency based on my oath, which I wrote and I recited before the Supreme Court sometime in 1972. I recited that on March 9, 1972. I recited that before the Supreme Court. And I signed my oath to protect the Republic and the Constitution. And when there was no president elected in 2016, particularly on May 9, 2016, I took over. I took my oath on June 30, 2016 as President of the Philippines because there was nobody who was considered a citizen. They were all fake, including Robredo. Because if Robredo was in fact really elected, and she is a lawyer herself, she would have taken the oath, but she was not also elected. She was illegally elected because the whole presidential setup was sabotaged by China and Duterte. So there was no vice president elected, no president elected. So Pamatong, faithful to his pledge to defend the Republic of the Philippines, marched forward, took his oath as President of the Republic of the Philippines. So I'm not a self-proclaimed president. No, it's unfair to call me self-proclaimed president. I am your president. That's why Duterte knows that. That's why he said, ikaw na ngayon ang presidente. You are now the president. Of course, I have been the president from the beginning. 4 years ago, he also said that if I resign, because he was planning to resign, I would turn over the presidency to Pamatong, not to Robredo, who is also a de facto vice president. That is what's going on. Marcelo will not work because Duterte is an impostor, as a usurper, and a usurper cannot declare Marcelo. What is the option? Because Duterte is not going out of there. He attempted to turn over the presidency to me, but Sara and Bungo and the others who would like to be presidents blocked him. They are earning so much under Duterte's lunacy, blocked him, and Duterte cannot move without the cooperation of the people close to him. Our only option is Oplan Jericho. Oplan Jericho. We will march on May 20, 2020. We will march. 6 o'clock, we assemble at Liwasang Bonifacio. If we can gather 20 to 30,000 there, we march to Malacanang. With the sight of 20 to 30,000 marching to Malacanang, there will be no problem. They will run as far as their thin legs can carry them. These are all homosexuals. Many of them are homosexuals, and they do not know how to fight. They will run, and we can take over Malacanang peacefully. So I want you to be there, all of you. I need 20 to 30,000 at Liwasang Bonifacio on May 20, 2020. May 20, 2020. Before that, I want you to stage the loudest noise barrage. And that kind of noise that crumbled the walls of Jericho 8,000 years before Christ. The walls of Jericho was impregnable. It was so high, 11 feet high, 15 feet wide. But with the voice of God, through the voice of the soldiers of Joshua, the walls of Jericho crumbled to pieces, and the people of God won. I want the same to happen. I want that day, May 19 and May 20, to be remembered as the turning point of Philippine history. As a day to be remembered, I want that day to be declared as the new holiday for all the Filipino people, a day of liberation, a day of freedom, a day of liberty, a day when a new birth of freedom was born in the Philippines under the leadership of yours truly. I want you. Do not be afraid. You know, your fear is the lockdown. When there are about 1,000 to 2,000 people coming out at the same time on May 2020, well, lockdowns will be useless. The policemen will run. The armed forces, the people, the Philippines will run. They will all run, the police, the armed forces, they will all scamper, run as far as their legs can carry them. Because the people, the voice of the people is the voice of God. Marches can change the course of destiny. It changed the course of destiny in America. It changed the course of destiny in France. It changed the course of destiny at Jericho. It can change the course of destiny. And we will change the destiny of the country in May 2020. We will change the course of history. There will be a new Philippines, a new freedom, a new liberty, a new democracy in the Philippines when that happens. I think that will be all for today. Thank you and good day.